Good.
Yeah. Yep. Fire away, Ryan.
Most obviously, two of your guys sick tonight. Desmond still kind of fighting through his knee bruise. You guys shoot 80% in the second half. Just in general, what do you come away with thinking about this team?
Yeah, I mean, I this was a must-win for us. You know, we talked about it. It was, a discombobulated week. Went into today's shoot-around and basically canceled it, turned it into a walkthrough, completely scrapped the entire practice plan, and then Wesley broke his nose. And so, one, shout out to the medical staff for getting Buzo and Wesley available to just put on a uniform. The entire medical staff did a phenomenal job because those guys were sick. And then you add in the fact that Desmond, with the bone bruise, could have been out 3 weeks. And it was round-the-clock rehab. And that, credit to the player, credit to the medical staff to get him ready. And, hopefully his knee will respond, fine tomorrow. And then we get ready for Minnesota on Thursday and Friday. And they've been off a week. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but we also go on a road trip and come back, and Ohio State's been sitting in L.A. while we're playing 2 games on. So never seen a schedule like this in college, but it is what it is, and you get ready for the next one. Yes. Yeah. Penn State made a run. We had St. Thomas with 2 fouls, Buzo with 3 fouls, and Wes back. I don't know if he was getting his nose reset or whatever, but and I could be wrong. I think it's broken. We're going to say it's broken.
Congratulations on the win. Could you talk a little bit about Josh Cohen's play, because he seemed to play much better than he has in a long time? Yeah,
Josh was phenomenal. I thought he was super aggressive. He defensive rebounded tonight, got 4 in 20 minutes. His 12 points were really important. We talked about the shot blocking of number 14 and using pump fakes, 2 to 3 pump fakes until he would leave his feet. And Josh did a great job, fouling him out. I mean, he played 11 minutes and fouled out. So game plan was to utilize shot fake, pump fakes, go through the chest. And I thought Josh did a phenomenal job of that, because if you look at the fouls drawn, Josh Cohen had 8 fouls drawn. And that was the game plan for our 5 men. So big-time credit for him with his play of taking out the Big Ten's leader in shot blocks.
Your dad used to have, philosophy, when you're in a tough spot, play your toughest guys. I know you've, taken to that at times. And, I mean, Desmond, 36 minutes tonight. Wesley, 36 minutes. Buzo obviously played a lot of that. Like, how did you come to the determination that, I'm going to ride with these guys, even with everything that's going on? And how did they kind of step to that challenge? Yeah,
I mean, I think, look, the game in Northwestern was it's a game we're going to look back on, because we just didn't defensive rebound. And if we just did a little bit, we would have won that game, and we'd be in a good, really good spot. But we didn't. And but I thought we played well enough to win that game. And, then all of a sudden your road record looks really good. Without Dez, we're just a different team, and you can take any team's leading scorer off their team, and they're different, and I thought at Purdue, they're really good at home. It was an incredible crowd, and without Dez, it's going to be an uphill battle. But I thought our guys did a really good job at Northwestern. We came up a basket short, and then when he was healthy, and to me, like we talked about earlier today, is just like, hey, just if you're able to play, we're gonna ride with you. And those guys are young players. They still have eligibility to come back. So there's a lot of reasons why that backcourt, we're relying on them so much.
How sick were Wesley and Buzo this week?
They were sick.
And
I mean,
how close to not playing? Maybe
I mean, I think only they can answer that. I mean, today when we went through the jump ball, they weren't out there. I mean, I really thought of starting, Shelley and then either Elohim or Clark. That's, when I left my house this morning, I told my wife, I didn't think they were going to play. I did think Des would play, but I did not know about those two. And then at shoot-around, I thought Buzo would play, but I was very unsure about Wes. I think Wes is hurting from a sickness and those guys got IVs for the last couple of days, and I think they felt better after that, at least a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, he was bleeding pretty good, too, in a huddle. And I guess in the back, the reason that it took so long to get him back out was just, how bad he was bleeding. But he's super tough young man, and I think everyone understood the importance of the game. With the travel we have, and then, they got school today, and they come, then they come straight to shoot around, and then we eat, and then, it's a compact day with guys getting rehab and stuff. I mean, Des didn't eat with the team. I mean, he took his plate and went right into JY to get rehab, even at our team meal. That's how, I mean, it's a game that I'll remember for a while just because of how unsure we were about what was going on, we're practicing without 3 starters. I mean, it was a weird couple days.
Hey, Coach, what do you make of Wesley Yates play this last couple of games? And also, you just mentioned Jalen Shelley. Can you talk about just him? I know he only had 14 minutes and 9 points. Can you talk about just what you expected from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think with any team, whether it's a baseball team, basketball team, football team, you always hope that during the course of the season somebody can alter your decision making. And look, we put Isaiah in the game at Purdue, and we put Jalen Shelley in the game at Purdue, and both those guys played better than the majority of our roster. It's a non-debatable, and so both of them, we looked at them in practice. Hard to just put 2 freshmen out there, although it could have been either one. And we gave Jalen, first half minutes, and we've always had some player kind of emerge and increase his minutes from the beginning of the year. I don't know if Jalen, based on tonight offensively, he gave up a defensive or an offensive rebound on a missed block out at the end of the half, but that's going to happen with a younger player. But offensively at Purdue, offensively tonight, I thought Jalen was phenomenal. I mean, 9 points in 14 minutes, and then what he did at Purdue. You have to evaluate that, and then you got to give a guy an opportunity. And obviously, our rotations changed from where it was even 2 weeks ago. Some guys that were playing are not playing. Now Shelley is playing, and he's playing his minutes the right way.
Not to hammer this home, but again, when you're leaving this morning and you're telling your wife that, like, at this point, you guys are, I think we're 13-10 coming to this game. Needed to win the Northwestern game from the optics of it. Really needed to win this game. Like, is a little bit of sense of dread, like in the back of your head, knowing that you might be going into this without your 3 top scorers, or at least 2 top scorers at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think as a coach, I've been a part of too many big, games. So I don't ever use the word nervous. I just our big thing was like, how do we convey to the team how important this particular game is? That, and then how do you get a group of guys to practice and then prep when 3 guys like Buzo missed. I haven't had a player ever miss a practice. I mean, he was not at practice getting the IV the other day. So he didn't even get the game prep that day. And for me, prep is really important. So I got to take a deep breath and not freak out, that a guy wasn't there, because I would have a tendency to not be able to continue with practice and get distracted. And I think the coaches, hey, just coach who's here. Let's keep moving forward. And the guys did a good job of that.
Coach, 2 things. First, do you have an update on Terrence Williams?
Not really. I mean, Terrence is he's out indefinitely, and there would be a chance that he could possibly come back towards the end of this thing. But then if you do that, he probably loses an eligibility to play next year. And, for him to play 2 or 3 games or be able to play next year, and I haven't discussed it with him. This is the first time I brought it up. You asked, so I'll bring it up. But if his rehab went well and they said he's cleared, I mean, he and I would have that conversation. But just like with any player, I'd probably give him the advice of what I would for my son, and to play 1 or 2 games as opposed to play 30, because I don't think he can come back before, maybe at the earliest, we'd have 4 games left. And I'd probably, you'd have to be truthful with the player and treat him like a son. And, for the best interest of Terrence, if he can't get 5 or 6 games in, it's probably better to keep it another year.
And then with Penn State, that's a team that came into tonight ahead of you guys in the net ranking. Do you think, assuming you stay on the bubble, you just hope the committee evaluates how much your team has gotten better as time goes on?
Yeah, I think, there's so much basketball to be played. This was a big game. Minnesota's a big game for us. All of our home games remaining are big games, and then you got to go on the road and do what we've done except for Purdue. This team, regardless of record, really competes. It's been one of the funnest teams I've ever coached. Because they do, like on the road, these environments have not really affected our guys. Purdue, they beat us by a pretty good margin, but they've beaten other teams by a lot bigger margin, and we didn't have Dez. And so, in reality, I thought we competed at Purdue. We lost to a better team and a team that was healthier than us. But if they don't have Braden Smith, I'd love to see the results. That's the truth of the matter.
All right, last question.
I know you guys you told the story of originally discovering Wesley or finding him at a track meet, I think, back in Texas. He was obviously recruited highly coming out of high school, but did you guys expect that he had this level of upside to him, even just through the first part of this year, kind of when he was struggling? Like, how have things just progressed so fast to where he is?
I think toughness, a personality of head coach and player is really important. And, he's a guy I'm with, you know what I mean? He connects well with me, and I connect well with him. He's just he's a sewer rat. He is. He's just, but great question, Luca, because he struggled with the fact that we really value not turning the ball over and having good decision making. But I think once, it really came to, we had to play him, to be honest with you. And then when we played him and he got through playing through mistakes and he took some questionable shots and we let him go because they went in, then the player breaks through. And once you break through with us, we let you roll. And because of his toughness, he broke through that barrier. And when you break through the barrier with us, you play 35 minutes a night. Not just here, but the last 10 years, that's what he does. I'm going to ride with him whether he goes 0 for 10 or, 8 for 10. He's one of our guys that we ride with. And I think, that helps guys too. Buzo's been in a slump. Tonight he goes 7 of 9 because, he's going to play. And there's beauty in that. So, that it? We'll miss you, Luca. Good luck in Denver.
Firstly, for both you guys, I guess Desmond in particular, obviously you've been through a lot this past week. Desmond just coming back from injury. I know Buzo and Wesley were pretty sick, had to get IVs. For you, for them, how did this team kind of come together and make the decision that you guys were going to play, you guys needed this game, that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, I think for one, the rest of the team was practicing as if, we wasn't going to be playing. So, I have no doubt that even if, I didn't play or Wes or Buzo didn't play, that they wasn't going to pull it out. I think that they would have the way that we was preparing. But yeah, you know, we got a good support staff, you know, athletic trainer, strength conditioning coach, you know, the USC doctors, and, you know, we just did everything we could in a quick amount of time to try to get everybody back. So, I mean, you know, we're all tough. You know, Wes got hit in his nose. You know, he wasn't feeling well. Buzo came out and hit 7 threes, and he wasn't feeling well. And, you know, I just returned back. So we knew this was a very important game, like you said, so we had to, you know, dig deep within ourselves and really, you know, lock in and just try to get this one.
Hey, congratulations on the win. Des, a quick question for you and then one for Josh. Des, how does your knee feel now? And then Josh, this was a big game for you. What was the difference between tonight and a few of the other games?
Yeah, you go first. Yeah, my knee feels good. You know, I was rehabbing and with our athletic trainer and our staff for, you know, the whole week last week. So, you know, honestly, they were surprised too. But, you know, I felt good, and then I told them I wanted to play and that I could play, and, you know, that's just what I ended up doing. But I'm all good now, though, for sure.
A lot of credit to him too. He had a swollen knee for a full week, so he toughed it out tonight for sure.
Yeah.
But on me, you know, it's my playing time is up to me. You know, it's not anything else other than that. And you know, I'm just I guess I've taken a different role this year in past years, and just being a guy that can be an everyday guy and just help the team any way I can. Tonight that was scoring and rebounding, and you know, just try and kind of continue that for the rest of the year, and you know, keep playing as hard as I can.
As I know, Muss said that, you know, originally they thought the bruise in your knee would keep you out, you know, several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear that initially, how much were you pushing to be back for this game? I know he said too, you're like you're like bringing the meal with you today to go, you know, work out, whatever. But how much are you pushing to play in this game after missing the last two?
I wouldn't necessarily just say I was pushing it, you know, just up to me and how my body feel. You know, like I said, I was out all last week. I didn't run. I didn't do none of that. I was just icing, and then, you know, rehabbing and stuff. So, and then yeah, the swelling went down and stuff. And then like I said earlier, I felt like I was able to play and I wanted to play. So, and I feel good.
Congratulations on the win, guys. Can you guys talk about just coach's playing style? He talked about breaking through the barriers. You know, once you guys, like, I guess he kind of like have you guys not on a leash, but like, you know, once you guys just get through and, you know, start making shots and things of that nature through and overcome adversity, he kind of just let you guys, he just ride with you guys.
Yeah.
Can you talk about his coaching style? And then can you talk about as well, just your game tonight? You had 5 fouls, but Coach talked about how you was playing hard tonight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if Coach, you know, sees who got the hot hand, then he's gonna keep giving the person that has the hot hand the ball. And then once, you know, at the end of the day, like once we figure out, you know, the type of defense they're playing, like we have so many weapons, and I don't think a lot of people like realize it. So it was just up to us to create. Like he gives us that freedom. We earned that freedom. He didn't just give it to us. We had to earn it, and he had to trust us. And, you know, and he gave that to us, and then we just had to play. Like, we knew the principles. We knew what we had to do. We knew what was going to happen if we did, you know, X, Y, and Z. So, you know, he trusted us. And, you know, for the most part, like, we're all experienced. We came somewhere where we was playing a lot, where, you know, we was probably the main guy on the team. So it wasn't like our first rodeo where he had to teach us everything. It was just, you know, we had to align with his principles and what he wanted. And once we did that, like, you know, he's just an effort coach. He's an effort coach. He wants us to play hard. So once we do that and we earn the trust to do what we do on offense, then he's going to let us rock.
Josh, can't imagine at times it's been an easy year for you, just coming from, you know, playing every day at UMass starter there, and now, seeing just your minutes go up and down here, kind of almost used like an opener in some cases. Like, how has that process just been this year, mentally adjusting, conversations with Muss, then to come out and just take on the task today? How did you just arrive there?
Yeah, I rely a lot on my faith. I'm a very faithful guy, and Christ puts me in positions all the time that I gotta, you gotta sometimes own it up and be a man, And I didn't come here to average 20 points a game. I came here to go to the NCAA tournament. So I told Coach I was the first transfer portal commit here, and I told him, like, whatever we got to do to get to the tournament, I will do. And kind of whatever that is every night, that's what I'm going to come out and do. And he's given me a ton of opportunities too. So just kind of being focused, coming out there, whatever role it is, come out, start, play for 5 minutes, give the team energy, come out, or come out, play 20 minutes, whatever it is, I'm going to do for the team, and just kind of whatever he needs me to do.
Last question.
For both of you, Muss has talked about Wesley's toughness just throughout the season. He fights through an illness, hurts his nose in the middle of the game, comes back out. What did he show you tonight and maybe just throughout this season about just how tough he is?
I think sometimes we forget that he's a freshman. Like that like he's playing fantastic. I mean, we got a bunch of all-conference guys on this team. I mean, we got him as a Player of the Year candidate. You got Wesley Yates as a Rookie of the Year candidate. You got St. Thomas as all-conference. Chibuzo all-conference. Like, we got a bunch of guys that are playing at a super high level. And Wes is just he's a hard-nosed dude. We kind of knew that when he first got here, in pickup practice. Like, he's definitely not soft, man.
Bro, he's a dog, man. Like, he comes to work every day. He hates sitting out. Like, he gets mad at himself when he misses a shot. Like, really mad at himself. Like, if you watch him, you'd be like, why is he doing all that? But just from summer, or like when he got back and when we was playing pickup and all that, like Josh said, he was one of them ones. So all it was for him is just to, read the game better, IQ, because, he never really played a full college season. But, as of right now, like, he's doing pretty good for him coming back, especially with the foot injury he had. So yeah, shout out to Wes. He fought hard. I told him, I was talking to him, I was like, hey, bro, like, we need you this game. Like, he was going to play regardless. But, I just kept trying to encourage him just to, keep him in the right headspace. And, he was good, but, sometimes as a leader and, as a good teammate and a good friend, you got to make sure, that he's straight. But, he was good. He was happy. Vibes was good. He didn't even care about the nose thing, to be honest. He was just trying to get back out here. So, yeah, he's a dog, man. Yeah, I'm glad we got him, along with everybody else, huh? No, they're just a general statement. Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.